This report will present an interpersonal communication film analysis of the movie Apollo 13. The movie is a dramatization of NASA's Apollo 13 space mission to land on the moon that was met with disaster after a system failure put the mission and its astronauts in danger of being stranded out in outer space. I have chosen to modify prompt 2. In this movie, Gene Kranz, played by actor Ed Harris, is a character that is displaying behavior consistent with theories presented in this course. I will include examples of strength portrayed by Kranz, explain what skills he could teach us, and I will analyze how the event might have been different had Kranz not used these skills. Finally, I will conclude with a summary of my insights, including major lessons learned. Apollo 13 was directed by Ron Howard and portrayed the story of a near-tragic events that made up the Apollo 13 mission. Apollo 13 was to be our nation's third moonwalk, and everything seemed to be running smoothly until a malfunction caused the spaceship to lose a majority of its power source, putting the mission and lives of the crew members in doubt. I chose this movie because throughout the movie and the actual event, amazing people worked around the clock to figure out solutions to a number of problems under the pressure of keeping the astronauts alive and bringing them safely home. At the heart of what turned out to be a long-distance rescue mission was the communication between crew members, NASA staff, engineers, and managers. One key character in this movie is Flight Director Gene Kranz, played by Ed Harris. Kranz was responsible for managing the entire mission, including the safe return of the crew. Kranz demonstrated professional, mature communication skills that without a doubt calmed the nerves of everyone involved and clearly led to the problem solving that eventually brought the crew safely home. In this movie, Kranz is portrayed by actor Ed Harris as being especially skilled in dialogue listening. The process that occurs between people as they respond to one another is an important focus during interpersonal communication. In virtually every problem-solving scene that he appears in, Kranz is updated and provided with the latest details, which he quickly assesses and makes his next decision. His greatest character strength is Kranz's use of emotional language that announces the user's attitude towards the subject. With so much riding on the decision made by the team of scientists trying to solve Apollo 13's problem, Kranz refuses to consider failure, to dwell on only the idea that lead to progress when inspirational, and he helped to motivate those who worked under him. The Kranz character can teach us that every workplace can and should have its own culture. This culture should be professional and should call on the expertise of everyone involved. When each member of the combined team feels devoted to the cause, the good ideas will come out. That is what struck me as most impressive about the entire movie. Every one of those scientists rose to the occasion because of the work environment that Kranz created. Kranz's style has precipitated leadership in which leaders act as guides to others who remain free to identify their own goals, establish their own procedures, and reach their own conclusions. In this NASA workplace, Kranz was a manager surrounded by experts in various fields. His own self-confidence allowed him to put his ego aside and let the experts do their thing. In Apollo 13, the Kranz character has an expert at interpersonal communications. He understood how to draw the best form of the experts he was surrounded by. An organization of business wanting to maximize its productive abilities can take several lessons from Kranz. The most valuable assets that any business or organization has is its workforce. To get the most out of your workers, you need to make them feel like their ideas matter.